saying that American Parliament starts with a prayer every day. It's a Christian prayer or a Jewish prayer. It's only very few times that a non-Christian or a non-Jewish prayer has been used. In the year 2000, it was a prayer of Hinduism, with which the American Parliament started. That was the US Congress. And one Dr. Sushil Jain, who was an eye specialist, and he used to work for US Navy and was posted at the White House. He was the man basically behind having the American Parliament start with a Jain prayer in the year 2001, when we celebrated 2600th birth anniversary of Lord Mahavira. Americans say so many things, do differently. That kind of gap exists everywhere between the politicians and the common man. But we have a politician here today who lives by his convictions. If I was to narrate his achievements, it would take me more than 24 hours to list those points. I remember one outstanding point, just to mention only one, that when there was a great reign of terror and Indians would hesitate to go to the integral part of India, that is Kashmir, it was Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi who put his foot down. He said he would march and hoist the national flag in the main chowk of India. Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi does not only play the Murli like Krishna of religion, he also plays the Murli of knowledge, being a professor, eminent professor of Allahabad University, and has been instrumental in revising and rewriting some of the aberrations which this government unfortunately is not considering properly. Honesty of purpose is seldom found in politics, but I find that in Dr. Joshi, and that's why I hold him in very high esteem. I request you, Dr. Joshi, to give your presidential address. I know you have made copious notes, and I know your comments will be forthcoming.
Mr. P.M. Jain, Dr. Suresh Jain, Sri Anil Jain, and Sri Aarti Jain on the dais, and the distinguished gathering this morning. I have indeed enjoyed and learned quite a few new facts from the brilliant talk which you had just listened from a very erudite scholar of Jainism and Jain's history. For the first time, I had heard about the causes of the survival of Jainism from a different angle. To me, Jainism would always survive because it is in the soul of India. It has nothing to do whether there is a political regime opposing or supporting it, whether there has been a king giving it a patronage or not, because it responds very well to the ethos, to the psyche of Indian people. Therefore it survives. And in a sense you will see that the basic tenets of Jainism are common with the many other schools of Indian philosophy and Indian religion, though apparently different. Almost all great Indian founders of religions were related to what you call the royal lineage. After all, the founder of Buddhism, Siddhartha, was also a person belonging to a kingship. Sri Ramchandra was also the son of a king. Bhagwan have been related or they have been patronized by the kings. The real fact is this, that as I have already pointed out, that it is the philosophy, it is the approach to it. Now this approach of renunciation, which is so peculiar to Jainism, is not very different from the idea of sannyas or renunciation in the other schools of Indian philosophy. But the very fact is this, that and the ascetics lives. That has always been different. Say the sannyasis follow a different route and the grihasthas they follow a different. They believe in the same philosophy, but a person who is, say, for example, say a Shaiv or a Vedanti, he believes in Shankaracharya's approach. The monks who belong to Shankaracharya's philosophy, they behave in a different manner. But an ordinary Vedanti will behave in a different manner. Because the Grihastha Dharma is also very important for Indian civilization. We have the differentiation between the Brahmacharya, the Grihastha, the Vanaprastha and the Sannyas. There are few persons, even in other schools of philosophy, we become monks at an early age. They become sannyasis at an early age, just like a large number of Jains becoming munis and acharyas at an early age. But that is not the universal. It is for those for which it is possible, yes, go ahead. But for normal average person, it is it's not prescribed as a first principle to obey. It is that if you can, fine. But if you can't, then you have to observe certain code of conduct. Some in India is as ancient as the Vedic religion. They appeared simultaneously on Indian history. The archaeological evidence points out that a large number of figurines which were discovered in various archaeological sites, they represent the yoga mudras, which are also common to the Jain ascetics. And it is very interesting that some of them are completely nude. So the Gambar part is also as ancient as the Vedic part. It is there. The archaeological evidence points out. And the Jains themselves believe, and rightly so, that these religions started with Adinathji, not with Lord Mahavira. There is a general misconception that it was Lord Mahavira who founded the Jain religion. And I find it is seen all over the world. Nobody remembers about the other 23 Tirthankars and their contribution. And because the Rishabdev is mentioned in the literature, so the Jain religion is as ancient as the Vedic religion. And therefore, sometimes I find that the Tantra and the Yoga of both the systems is almost same. Almost same. The Vaishnava Tantra and the Jain Tantra is almost same. The astrology is almost same. Astronomy is almost same. So, in all aspects of understanding the world, I don't find that there has been much separation between the Indian psyche and the Jain approach for understanding the universe. And the most important thing is this, that the Jain philosophy was the first to accept the atomism, the atomistic theory of the creation of universe. Like Kanad, it is the Jains who believed in the atoms, Parmanu. Another important contribution of Jainism is Ahimsa. So atom and Ahimsa, these are the two most important contributions in understanding the world. Atom for understanding the creation of universe, Ahimsa in understanding the behavior of human being, living being with the others. It is through atoms we are united with each other, and it is through Ahimsa that we are also united with each other. The inert particles or the inert nature as we call it is united through atoms. My body, my physical part of my body is united with atoms. And I am united with you through the consciousness, through the spirit. It is Ahimsa which comes through from the experience of the universal consciousness. If you don't believe in universal consciousness, you cannot perform any deed which is non-violent. It is because I and you share a common consciousness that I respect your life and you respect my life. And not only that, I and you share the same consciousness, I say even the microbe, the same consciousness is there. Therefore, the microbe is also as important to me, the chicken is also as important to that great man as his own son. This fundamental unity, this acceptance of this fundamental unity is the cause of the survival of things. It may take this shape or that shape. You may call it in any way, but this basic Jain principle of ahimsa and atom unites the whole community, unites the whole universe. And the government may support or may not support. But so long this guiding principle remains, Jainism from India will not perish, but it will spread in different parts of the world also, because the world is now increasingly realizing the importance of universal consciousness. We have seen the power of atom, the destructive power of atom. Atom, when mishandled, destroys. But if atom is combined with ahimsa, if ahimsa rules the atom, if ahimsa controls the atomic power, then it becomes the most constructive power. So another contribution that Jainism has to make now in 21st century is to bring the atomic power or the physical power or the economic power or the scientific power under the control of non-violent and non-exploitative systems. This approach towards a non-violent and non-exploitative system is necessary to control the destructive powers of atom. As I said, I'm giving you an example. It's not only that I'm talking of atom bombs. Atom here signifies the entire scientific discoveries, scientific inventions, technological inventions. The chairman of the World Bank, the president of the World Bank, is recognizing it. And he's saying that this world is out of balance. I'm quoting from the speech of Mr. Mohanson, which he delivered in 2003 September in Dubai. He says that the world is out of balance. And it is out of balance in such a way that 16% of the world's population controls 86% of the total global domestic product. Imagine, the rest of the 84 depend upon only on 14% of the global domestic product. And he says that there are about 1 billion people who survive only on $1 a day, and compare it with the price purchasing parity with India, then it will be almost a rupee or 2 rupees a day. So he says this is the level of inequity. And he says we have to fight it out, this inequity. And then surprisingly, for the first time, the World Bank President says that the world is not only united through economic activities or through globalized markets, but it is also united through disease, through poverty, and above all through terrorism. This for the first time I have heard this type of a speech from the President of the World Bank. What does it mean? That after 9/11, my friends in America have realized the dangers of atom, and they must now therefore succumb to the benign and compassionate healing touch of ahimsa. And this combination of atom and ahimsa is, again I say, the combination of the grihast and the monk. The grihast has to follow the economic activities, the social activities, the political activities, but it must have the overriding controlling factor of ahimsa. That is, the others say that it is the dharma which should control all these activities. I say the quintessence of dharma is ahimsa after all. And therefore ahimsa must control the rest of us. And if it dominates, if it becomes the guiding principle, in practice, in almost all walks of our life, the world will be a better place to live, and it will not be a dangerous place to live in as it is today. And I am one of those who have always believed it. I've been always saying it, not only today, but for last so many years, that Jainism is one of the most scientific approaches to various problems. The Ekantavad and the Syatra, they are not fully confirmed by modern science, and therefore Another aspect why Jainism would survive and has survived is that it represents some of the basic scientific principles. Thank you.